That's fine. Well, we're recording now. Welcome to the First Due Overland Podcast, Episode 2. Currently sitting in the Clark Fork.
No,
right?
This is the North Fork Coeur d'Alene River.
Oh, I was mistaken. It's been Clark Fork on all the bridges we passed so
right?
far.
No. This is now the North Fork Coeur d'Alene River.
So, yeah. Recording a podcast here with the gentleman. We went to Montana for the Expedition Overland, the big thing. Solid event that we went to. Arrived Thursday, spent all day Friday, Saturday. They kicked us out Sunday morning because we did not do long range or short range shooting.
Or the women's recovery class.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So, yeah, here we are just outside Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, making camp and kind of doing a post-event debrief. So, first off, I would like to give a shout-out to the X-Overland crew, the X-Overland Ranch crew, for an amazing event. Personally, this is my second event out at the ranch, and it's if you ever get a chance, or next year when they do an event out there, go do it for sure. It was all these guys' first time out there, and I know a couple of y'all were hesitant when I was like, oh yeah, let's go out to the middle of nowhere, Montana, and go to an event, and yeah, it's going to be awesome. And you guys were like, well. But as you guys will see in this episode, once we arrived, I think some minds were changed, and as soon as people realized how epic how epic the property was, and then as the weekend went on, how educational and beneficial the event was. I think it's if you ever have the chance to go out there, whether it's for an X-Overland event or even just another vendor event, that place is a special place in Montana. Would you agree there, sir?
Yeah, absolutely agree. That was a delightful event. Very well done, very well coordinated, very well set up. Did tons of the classes, enjoyed every single class that I went to. Starting with the navigation and mapping, led by the Rebel U, ending with the last class of Overland Cookery, which was another great class to attend. Everything in between was wonderful. A bunch of great vendors got to visit. I got suckered out of several thousands of dollars between me and my friends. Delightfully being the half-ton pickup driver of the group, my truck is full of wonderful items. Wonderful items.
Yeah, if you ever go to an event with Jared, do not go to a vendor with him because you will walk away spending some money. Ask our friend Eric.
Yes, you will tap to pay many times. Shout out to Starlink. Got several goodies. Andre has a Prinsu Pro rack. We got a Warren 10K Evo and a Prinsu Covert Tacoma bumper in my back seat right now for Eric. Eric Gerhardt joining us.
Yep, Midland.
Yep. Oh yeah. Shout out to Midland.
Shout out to Midland because all 4 of us, 5 of us, bought stuff from Midland this trip. So Midland,
multiple trips to the Midland.
If you wanted to sponsor us, we'll send some people your way.
Yeah. We got Brandon got a 275 and a delightful bull bar.
Antenna.
Yeah. Aussie style 40-inch antenna.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yep. Yeah. Andre got a blind antenna.
Yeah,
yep.
the Prinsu Pro roof rack for the Land Cruiser. Yep.
Yeah, I got a 275 vehicle mounted and the blind antenna.
Cody, what do you get?
I got the 6 decibel whip antenna.
And I got
with the magnetic mount.
And I got the ghost antenna. So, needless to say, we will all be loud and clear on future trips because we all have new antennas or radios from Midland. So, Midland.
Yeah, I was super excited about that they were there. Got to talk to them quite a bit because I did notice on our usual trips we're usually pretty tight along on the trail, and I don't have many issues with my $50 Amazon handheld. It's been great. It's lasted me a year, but as we spread out on the interstate, we covered more distance. It was definitely a little garbly.
And I feel like on the trail too, on the second day, when it was super dusty and we kind of spread out a little bit, and with the elevation difference as well. I feel like, especially for me, once I went from the front of the convoy to the back of the convoy, getting me reaching you, because I think you were a lead at that point. Yep. It was starting to become a little difficult. The standard mag mount antenna that came with my Midland wasn't cutting it, so I think the Ghost antenna will be a welcome addition, and I think especially your larger antenna as well. I think that will help with communications on future trips and all that. So super excited to get them installed, and from a video content perspective, look for install videos for the Land Cruiser Pro roof rack install, the Tacoma winch or worn winch and Prince Hugh front bull bar bumper install, and a Ghost antenna install on the Forerunner as well. So some fresh content on top of the X Overland episodes coming to you thanks to the big thing at the X Overland Ranch. Did you want to add something to that?
I do. Back to the Midland vendor. The gentleman there was very knowledgeable on how radio signals work, with how dBs or decibels affect radio signals, line of sight, reflective planes. Super knowledgeable, super helpful to help all of us get the right product for our needs.
Yeah. No, and that was something that was super cool about this event is all the vendors there. I mean, at least from my perspective, all the vendors there seem super knowledgeable, super passionate about their products, and it wasn't pushy. Like as someone who's gone to multiple trade shows and multiple, especially like outdoor trade shows and stuff, we've all been to those events where the vendors are just pushing, whether it's radios, whether it's, recovery gear, whether it's vehicle tunes, you know who I'm talking about.
Educate.
Yes, the vendors at this event were there more for the educational purpose, and it was very refreshing because as someone who has a background in marketing, it was refreshing to not see the sales commission mindset from a lot of these vendors.
Jared got a commission.
I mean, yes. After this weekend, Jared definitely got a commission, especially Prince Hugh. You all better hook him up with a roof rack and some other stuff because he got Andre to buy the roof rack pro. He got Eric to buy the bumper. Yep, and he also did you peer pressure Eric into the knife too?
There might have been some
So
coercion
he
into how nice that was.
Peer pressured Eric into the was it Benchmade?
It was a Benchmade knife.
Benchmade knife and the worn winch. So
I mean, if you buy a winch bumper, you might as well go ahead and get a winch when you can collect 20% event discount and
What's
also
a bumper without a winch?
Exactly.
Yeah, shout out to Warren for both doing an extremely informative class, which was amazing. They had take-home pamphlets as well, which are going to be stalwart in my center console now that have charts to calculate the amount of GVWR increase that you have based on the depth that your vehicle that you're recovering is stuck in, as well as different examples of mechanical advantage that you can have, the different sizes of kinetic rope that you need, and the proper way to use a mechanical rope, the cooldown times for a mechanical rope, the total usage that you can get out of a mechanical rope. All of that wrapped up in an hour and a half, plus some practical application of an hour and a half, which they did use to mainly pull off of a GMC product. So shout out there as the only full-size GMC product owner here as well.
Yoda gang.
But that was a wonderful class to sit through, and then to top it off, if you went through their class, they gave you an additional 10% off. So Eric and I went through the class. I learned a ton. Eric got 10% additional off of the worn winch sitting in my back seat right now as well. So that was an unexpected one. I did not originally intend to go to that class, but Eric talked me into going to it. Absolutely delightful. I learned a lot of things. You don't know how much you don't know, and that's what that class taught me. So I certainly intend to spend some time flipping through the informational books that they gave us on proper ways to recover. I've definitely done some sketchy stuff in the past previously that I know not to do now, for sure.
Like what? Wait, yeah. Like what? Like what?
We've definitely, so when we recovered the Camry out of the sand at Catches Lake last year, I dropped it in 4-low and just tugged like hell on my Kinetic rope, which A, is the wrong size for my vehicle. B, we connected improperly to the Camry last time. And C, the biggest takeaway I took from use of a Kinetic rope is the communication between the driver of the recovery vehicle and the driver of the vehicle being recovered. So while Eric and I communicated a lot, and Eric was the person on the ground during that recovery, should have had a lot more pre-recovery communication with the driver as to what to expect as they were coming out and what to do when they did finally get out.
Okay.
So I mean, I had no issue getting them out. My equipment had no issue getting them out, but there could have been a lot of soft touch points done better in that recovery that I learned about to make it a better experience for everyone.
Okay.
Particularly to help ease them as well. One thing that was covered about the feeling of being lost, both in the Rebel U class and in the Warren Recovery class, was that when you feel lost or when you feel stuck, you have such a psychoactive response to that, or a physiological response to that. You can get freaked out, and making sure to calm down the person in the recovering vehicle, or someone who feels lost, is just as important in the process of recovering as it is actually physically getting them recovered. So lots of cool takeaways, lots of interesting takeaways there on that.
I like how they worded that out, especially like not in just in recovery, but more in general in life. It's like if you feel lost, we tend to go faster pace, right? And then we're just going around in circles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Instead of and from the instructor, I feel like when she said you just gotta slow down or stop.
Yep.
And figure everything out, just to know where you are, and you eventually find where to start from where. And I think she mentioned that most of the time when you start back up, it's from where you started. So
mm-hmm. Yeah, the continuation of that thought in the recovery class was two different perspectives. The cowboy perspective is if you get stuck or lost, light a fire. By the time you've finished building a fire, then you've had time to calm down, you've had a minute to think about it, and then you can readdress the situation. Or the British method of make a cup of tea. If you've made a cup of tea and you've had time to sit down, think about it, and you can get yourself out of the situation, be it lost or stuck, from a considerate and a thoughtful point of view, instead of oh no, I'm in an issue, I need to stop, I need to panic, I need to get myself out now. Which, I mean, I will admit I'm very much an action-based person when it gets in those situations. I am very much I need to logically think myself out of this situation as quickly as possible. So that'll definitely be something that I give some mindfulness to going forward, is how can I stop, take a moment to reflect, calm down, and think through the multiple different ways that we can get out of this.
Yeah, no, it's refreshing, because I am the polar opposite of that. And that's a valid point, but it's also, that is a invaluable addition to the team. And that is, I mean, that is part of the reason why why I brought you on, is because you are very logical. You can take that step back and you can, okay, here's the situation. How do we address it? And now hearing that and knowing the additional knowledge that you have from that class, because I didn't go to that class. I don't have a winch. I wasn't peer pressuring a friend into a winch, so I didn't need to go to the class. But knowing that you now have that knowledge, that is great because, one, we go out with Eric a lot, and he has a winch. So, Eric, prepare to winch us out of a lot of hairy situations because that's about to happen. And that is super beneficial. What was Brandon?
Yep.
What was the first class that you went to?
I went to the navigation class,
The Rebel U class.
the Rebel U class.
So, what was something that you took out of that class?
True north.
It was pretty much
Finding
the
the
same
goal.
thing he was talking about when you're lost and you're worried and you're in a hurry. You just end up going in a circle, getting more lost. You got to stop, go back to the last place. You know where you were, get your bearings, and continue from there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sweet.
that was the best thing I took from that class.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
That was such a solid start to the whole event.
Just take a pause.
Well, it was okay. So, Andre, what was something that you because I saw that after that class got done, you stuck around it and you did some mapping and such. What was something that you learned from the additional mapping of that you did afterwards? Was that
I was expecting something more different.
Okay.
Honestly, it was like mapping through apps or GPS.
Yeah, same.
But,
Yep.
yeah, but then she pulled out this huge like paper map
Yeah.
and then a ruler. Yeah. What are we doing with this? So yeah, I mean, there's some pretty good pointers on there. It's like she mentioned about technology is bound to fail at some point, and it's always to have a good backup. So yeah, always like a paper map of the trail, and I mean, I tried to get most of the concept,
Yeah.
but it was definitely need to sit through
it was a lot of
more
math.
advanced
It was a
class,
lot of
yeah.
math. Yep.
like getting the coordinates, 3 types of coordinates, minutes, seconds,
Yep.
get a measure. So yeah.
Did you guys grow up with that?
Minute.
I was say,
Honestly, I grew up with by the time MapQuest is what I was
Let's say
using.
it was MapQuest, Google Maps. Yeah, it was. It was an educational class in the sense of there was definitely like I didn't know the origin, like how coordinates came about, like the minutes, seconds, like I didn't
I mean, it
know
was
that.
good to learn for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely it was interesting, but I mean, same thing. Like when I signed up, I was like, all right, like okay, this is going to be mapping, this is going to be route planning, this is going to be
Mapping on Onyx.
yeah, and exactly mapping on Onyx, and that was as an Onyx ambassador and Trogue, I was like, oh great, like heck yeah, like this is like I'm about to learn something new that I don't know, and I still learned something, but it wasn't what I expected, and it's not a dig by any means because it was still beneficial, and I know that people took some things away from that class. For me though, as a trail guide, as an ambassador, and as someone who has who has Starlink, I'm never worried now about knowing where I'm at because I either have offline maps or if I don't have, well, honestly, like today, coming out here to this spot where we're filming at now. My procrastinating self didn't download offline maps for this, but I had Starlink on. So what I do as soon as we lost cell service, I pulled my iPad up, I had Starlink, and I knew exactly where we were going. Yes, now God forbid Starlink for some reason doesn't work. Yes, I would have been screwed. But I don't know. All that to say, yes, great class. But for me, the first class of the day, 9 a.m. was way too early for math and for algebra and all of that. Because I was like, my Celsius has not hit yet. Even though I've taken a few sips, it had not hit yet. So,
I will say I was blessed to grow up with a grandfather that was very into physical mapping. So in his childhood, his dad, my paternal great grandfather, took him on a circumvent the United States road course. So
Like a trip?
they traveled. Yeah, they took a trip around
damn.
the 50 states, essentially the more or less the external border of the continental 48. Okay. So he has always loved mapping, and this was in the time that MapQuest was coming out, but wasn't something that my grandparents, not being terribly technically advanced at the time, really embraced. So he always had full state map books sitting on the coffee table at his spot. Okay. So like that was always something growing up through elementary school, going to spend summers with them. It was always a map to flip through. So maps are not something that were foreign to me at any point in time. I understood scale. I understood latitude and longitude, the difference between the minutes and seconds numbers, and then as we moved into decimals, with more computer-based calculations, that wasn't foreign to me. That wasn't anything different. I think the class was a big wake-up call to I have, as a 33-year-old millennial, gotten extremely comfortable and moved away from that knowledge. Mm-hmm. It was even one of the purchasing points about my truck was when I sat in it, I saw on the dash it had a digital compass. So I know my cardinal direction at all the time. Okay. But needing that crutch, not being able to immediately tell which direction we are, not being able to immediately tell that direction right there is due north. That was a good wake-up call from that class, not being able to navigate myself out of a situation should something happen. Onyx requires your cell phone to have service, have Starlink, or
offline maps.
Offline maps, or be able to turn on at any point in time. Yeah. So,
all right. So Toyota USA, throw some compasses in all of your Toyota trucks and SUVs, so that we can.
Also, shout out to my Chevrolet Silverado, at which point I downloaded to the 13-inch central cluster the entire map of Idaho, Montana, and Washington before leaving for this trip.
Yeah, so Toyota USA, don't let the American-made vehicles outdo us. Come on now. So, but
yeah,
anyways.
Technology will fail eventually.
Yes, yep.
My central cluster does not want to respond on the occasion. So, yeah, being able to find a map, and that it will... I've kind of looked at them at the U.S. Forest Service welcome centers that we've passed through several times. I've kind of looked at them as novelty items, the maps that they have.
Yep.
I definitely will not. I will certainly... I did take a Renew Vigor. I do intend when I get home to kind of start my own collection of the USGS maps.
Yep.
So that way I can.
And one thing I learned from the Rebel U class was... God forbid you can't find something on the USGS website. The Russians...
Yes, they know where everything is.
They know where everything is in the U.S. So, you can't find a USGS map, just look for the Russian maps. And
they know where everything is.
They know where everything's at. So, okay, so Cody, what was the first class that you did? Did you do the navigation class, or what was the first class you did?
I also did the navigation class as well. And to piggyback off you, Jared, for... always knowing where cardinal north is. When I first started working, where I am still currently, over 10 years ago, technology wasn't as good for GPS and would fail us quite a bit because we bought everything at the lowest bidder. But because of that, I got really good at using Thomas map books, and whenever I get a new phone or a new device with GPS, I set everything up to north. So it's not when you're driving down the road, it's what you see and the direction you're facing, but the map is always facing north, just to kind of gain a little bit more situational awareness, knowing where north is. And that has helped me kind of make sure I know where I am when technology fails, that I am not completely lost and can eventually find my way home.
Yeah, I will say when we were exploring on the second day in Montana, that is one of my favorite features of when I'm in an area that I don't know on Onyx, being able to switch back and forth easily between the two, being able to look at the direction I'm going. Like if I'm using CarPlay, being able to have it follow me the direction I'm going on the central cluster, and then on my phone on the magnetic mount, having that in reference to true north, like more spread out, so that way I can see like on the general map where we're going, that is very nice. So that way I don't just get lost in the woods following the blue line.
Yep.
That's a fantastic way to do things.
Exactly. Yep.
Now, the second class I did was a dog first aid course. Now, I've been an EMT for over 10 years and have no idea how to translate any of that knowledge from a human into a dog. And the information from that class was phenomenal. Learning how to take my knowledge from the human side to the dog side, looking at their gums, their eyes, their ears, and looking almost at the exact same signs and symptoms if one of us are in trouble, and seeing how similar that is to recognize when a dog's in trouble, but also some of the physiological differences, like how a dog is regulating their heat more through their mouth and through their paws. Also, if they were to receive a serious injury, say you have to tourniquet one of their front limbs, one of the rear limbs, or to look for their pulse. It was a lot of information in an hour and a half, and there's still so much more information. If you look at my notebook, there's just pages of things I wrote, of things I've learned, and things I need to look more into.
Yeah,
And that's why Cody was our field medic on this trip, because he has a medical EMT background. And so now, on future trips, our expeditions, Cody will now be our
Pet
human and pet medical person.
Yeah, and that one's one that's wild too, because you can't, as we discussed earlier, getting lost or stuck, take the time to detach and evaluate from the situation. You have to be able to act with knowledge in the moment. And that's particularly with pets, like that's an extremely emotional thing too, because every one of us like absolutely loves our pet. Like the emotional attachment to a pet, to be able to detach yourself from that and make logical decisions about the best thing to do in the situation. I mean, having to tourniquet my own dog in the wilderness, like the mental fortitude, the level of knowledge and logical reasoning to get to that point out in the field is wild and extremely commendable.
I could tourniquet myself, any of you, quickly. It's muscle memory at this point, but to take one of my dogs and do it, I'm still at this point, if something bad happened to one of my dogs, I'm still dialing an emergency vet number as the first thing I do.
It's the emotional response. And and yes, and that's something too, especially you and I as first responders, or, frontline, first responders, it is our second, it's second nature for us of, all right, here's a situation. We have been trained, time and time again. We've received hundreds of hours of training on how to respond to a situation. But yeah, when you put patience, whatever it may be, that's one thing. But when you have that emotional attachment of an animal, that's a whole different ballgame, because that is, you have that emotional, personal connection. At work is work. Yes, we want our patient, we want them to survive, but when there's that personal investment, that's a whole nother ballgame. And so that, no, exactly. I can't imagine having to tourniquet my my 20-pound family, dachshund, or whatever but yeah, at work, yeah, that's no problem. It's second, like you said, it's second nature, but having that personal attachment that's a whole nother ballgame. So no, I'm glad that you were able to take some stuff away from that.
And lastly, also shout outs again to our vendors. I was able to go back up to the gal who taught the dog first aid course, and I was able to continue to ask her questions, learn more information, learn to get pet specific medical gear, and just learn more and find out where to learn more.
Before we continue though, Jared, raise your left leg. Okay, you want some trail ingenuity here. Show the camera the front.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this trail ingenuity here.
Okay, so second night, we stayed at a river camp spot that was
That was the first night. That was the first night.
Oh, that was the first.
That was
that
night
was the
number
first night.
one.
Yeah, because we made it all the way to Montana the first day.
Yeah, we did.
So that river was flowing. I'm talking. I'm laying backwards into the water, standing on a rock, in the water, just so that way I can stay still. Well, the sandals did not quite make it through that. I blew out the majority of the adhesive here on the side.
R.I.P.
And then and I wore these to shower in throughout the week. Shout out to Andre for the ensuite usage.
Yep.
Today, however, as soon as I stepped into this water, complete blowout.
The Sandals left the chat.
Yeah, but
Which also, Iron Man, if you're watching this, your boy needs a new ensuite because the winds at the XO Ranch completely disintegrated the rivets in my ensuite. So, come on.
Is that 18-mile-an-hour winds?
So it was according to CampSpotter, again, campspotter.io. God, people are gonna think this is just like a continuous like podcast of ads. We're not even sponsored by CampSpotter, but
what do you mean? We're both ambassadors. It's about as sponsored as it gets.
no, because CampSpotter doesn't pay us. They just encourage us to use their app. Anyways,
Well,
Is it accurate?
yeah.
I mean, no, CampSpotter was accurate. I will say, CampSpotter is extremely accurate, even for today. They rated this a 95. I would say this CampSpot is a 95.
Yep. Yeah.
But-
Absolutely. Yeah.
I digress. The winds at the XR Ranch were so strong that it snapped one of the arms. It popped out one of the rivets, or no, two of the rivets on my arms on my Iron Man ensuite. So Iron Man, if you're watching this, or another brand.
You may have also driven over it at some point in time last summer as well.
No, I did not. That most definitely did not happen, and it was since repaired and fixed since then. But another brand, if you are wanting to hook us up with a ensuite for the Forerunner, shoot us a DM because your boy needs a new ensuite. Anyways,
After he gets a lift.
no.
Anyway.
No. Before, because
Yeah,
I'm not.
and a winch.
I don't watch.
Yeah. You see how? Yeah. Yeah,
Which-
you see how
which-
Eric got. This is
Yes,
what happens.
which is why, if you notice in all the footage, I was not around Jared during this trip because my credit card nor debit card needed to break a sweat like Eric's did.
Yeah.
I knew what I was getting into, so Eric,
Yeah. Moving.
can't wait to see the new build, but my bank account appreciates it.
Yeah. Moving past the peer pressure and the emotional disdain of having to tourniquet your dog.
Yeah.
What was everyone's favorite class that they went to? We'll start with you, Brandon.
So it wasn't exactly a class, but it was the tech course, and I got to run my Sequoia through their obstacle course there and learn the limits. It was pretty awesome. All the guys there did a great job explaining if I should have a locker on or not, and what angle to get into the obstacle at. It was pretty good.
Nice.
Definitely appreciate everybody there that helped me out.
That's
Yeah.
something I think that's my favorite part, honestly, because most of us, we won't. For the past 2 years that I've been overlanding, I haven't been to any of that, any obstacle or courses like that. So it was actually just getting the Land Cruiser, getting to test it out. It's what it can do, and having that course and having somebody there to actually guide you and navigate, like, how to use your crawl control, your going to forward low, locking your diffs, getting that knowledge from them, and having that course. I don't think we're gonna go through any of those on our camping trips.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely fun getting to try out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Overland Journal Tech course, I mean, you start out, you immediately go through back and forth divots in the road, so you get major flex
Yeah.
on individual opposite corners.
Oh yeah.
Work around. I know Shane expressed the terror of being in with you as you hit
Oh,
a
yeah.
30
It's,
degree lateral
close to,
angel.
Yeah, close to
Lateral
30
angle.
degree. Yep.
Yeah, I know Brandon
Yeah.
was pretty stoked about
Yeah.
his long travel kit on the
But
Sequoia.
you know what?
Not-
Trying that for the first time, I was sweating. But I went through that course again the second time, and this time, once you've experienced it, you get more confident on getting through those trails for sure.
Yeah, the gun barrel ditch as well. You drop down like 10 feet at just like a straight angle into a ditch. There's nothing but freshly clawed out dirt on both sides, and all you can do is just let the vehicle slide down into it and then work your way back out. That's pretty crazy. Definitely nothing you see on a standard overlanding trip.
Yeah.
So that was
And then they've got the stock Tacomas out there doing it too.
Yep. Yeah.
Making it look easy.
Yeah. All the
It's
stock
amazing.
Tacomas provided by Toyota. I was really impressed. It was wonderful to sit down into the stock Tacoma and have ventilated seats in the middle of the afternoon in the Montana heat. That was delightful.
Yeah.
But then just sitting in a stock Tacoma and going through all of that really blew my mind, honestly.
Yeah.
Because there's the big cone right before you go down into the gun barrel ditch. That was pretty dope, where you completely pick up one corner. I mean, did the Tacoma you drove, did it have the 360 cameras on the center dash?
If it did, I wasn't using them.
Okay, I
No,
know.
I-
Yeah, so I rode along with Shane, so I had the pleasure of both seeing him pucker in the seat and also watching the center console. It did have the 360 cameras, so you could see down off of it as you went down into it, but also on the various sections, both crossing the dips, the individual dips that you went through, you could see it flex on the side view mirrors. That was pretty awesome. I mean, if you didn't have, if you weren't on a closed course environment, if you didn't have a professional standing right there from the ranch to guide you into the obstacles, you have a pretty solid start point out to go. I know Andre posted earlier today pictures of the front camera and the Land Cruiser as well.
No, it's night and day difference for sure. Especially when going on steep inclines where all you see is just blue sky. Just look at the screen. Yeah, you'll see the ground where your tires are at. It's very accurate.
Yeah, I need to install a front camera.
Yeah, I've definitely, being in the full-size truck, being able to look over the hood, I'm sure for you, for how much lift and the tire size you have on your Sequoia, like it's kind of there's a whole county in between what you can see off the tip of the hood down onto the ground.
Yeah.
So I've definitely been looking into options there, because that would be super helpful, and definitely seeing it in the new generation of the Tacoma. That's nice. Like either going up over a hill, dropping down into something deep, like being able to see where you're going and not just blindly hoping that your skid plates are going to be able to handle whatever's there.
Yeah.
Is
Like the new Wolf Box, they have that the 3-camera system.
the Wolf Box tripod. That is. So I will admit, when I wired in the fuse panel into my cab a couple weeks ago, a Midland radio and a Wolf Box were the 2 additional circuits I pre-wired into the center console, just in case things happen.
Yeah.
The Midland booth got me for one of them. We're 50% of the way there. So that's
something that for me, that's something that I'll add to, is especially so driving the tech course in the Tacoma, you and I were in a Tacoma iForest Max, and that was night and day difference from my 5th gen 400 to the new iForce.
so wildly better than that asthmatic V6.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, oh my gosh. I should have just held out for the new 4Runner. But one day. When First Due sponsored by Toyota and we're all rocking,
Toyota.
Yeah, so Toyota.
6th gen.
Yeah. Hook us up with a 6th gen 4Runner and a 4th gen Tacoma. Yeah. Hook us up with a new Tacoma and a new 4Runner. And
Or just be like Andre and sign on the dotted line for a Land Cruiser.
Just put a 25% APR. And,
yeah. Why not? But no, in all seriousness, seeing the iForce Max in full force, and because last year, so that was what I was telling these guys earlier. So last year at the grand opening event for the ranch, unfortunately, Abby and I got stuck in a 5th gen 4Runner on the back 400, and I had a 5th gen 4Runner, so I'm like, oh, all right. So I'm just cruising my own rig. This year, doing the tech course, and I think on the tech course as well, we had actually no, I didn't do the tech course last year. And so this year doing the tech course in a I-Force Max, and then riding shotgun in an I-Force Max Land Cruiser,
yeah.
seeing how the I-Force handled in both situations, I will say Toyota, y'all knocked it out of the park with the I-Force. The responsiveness, honestly, the tech as well.
We got to talk about the tech too.
Yeah.
'Cause we've gotten your previous generation 4Runner stuck before.
Yeah.
And
in similar situations,
yes, in very similar terrain.
Yep.
And ended up using traction boards and some other sketchy maneuvers to get it out.
Yeah.
Shout out Warren for telling me that I'm an idiot for doing that. But the new Tacoma's in the exact same situation.
Yep.
Without using locking differentials, just relying on the traction control.
On the traction control, yep.
Bump themselves out.
Yep.
Just individual wheel braking, bump themselves out. That's pretty awesome. That's solid technological advancement that we love to see in the space.
Toyota, give me a new 4Runner and we'll make some bomb content, because I will happily put it in some precarious situations to showcase.
I will get this poor sucker stuck.
I will happily showcase what your traction control can do. But it's the tech course that was super cool. And I got to do it two different times. So we did it in Tacoma the first time, and that was from the driver's perspective, seeing what you can get into and what your vehicle will get you out of. And then from the passenger side in the Land Cruiser, being in the passenger seat and looking out and seeing the ground like straight down. That was a pucker moment, but
we were top heavy too. So
yeah, and yes, we were.
we got a 10.
As you'll see, Andre's Land Cruiser is very top heavy, but
it stuck, and you really had no issues. So I mean, that's
you know, like I said, it's probably just doing it the first time. Yeah, it's definitely nerve-wracking.
That's right. Yeah, because you did it. You did it Saturday as well.
The course
Yeah,
again
that's
the
right.
second
Yep.
time, and it's like nothing. Oh yeah, it can handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So shout out to Toyota for making some amazing vehicles.
Yeah. An Overland Journal for setting up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, setting up the course, designing the course, having the wonderful trail guides there at the beginning of each of the obstacles to guide you through how to get there. I know there's footage that I took of Shane and footage that Shane took of Andre getting the instruction about where to hold your hands on the steering wheel.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Making sure to keep your thumbs free, so that way if you go across rough terrain, you don't
airbags with
9 and 3, not 10 and 2. 9 and 3, not 10 and 2. Yep.
They said
that
3
way Cody,
and 9.
so that way Cody can relax instead of having to reattach your thumb. You know.
Oh, yeah, we got our medic over here. So.
Yeah. I mean, we got to give her something to do. So Yeah.
At some point, something might happen, but I am very happy and would be very content just sitting
To not
back
have to
and being
respond.
lazy. A good day is where I'm bored.
Yeah.
All right, so that gets us through pretty much Friday, I think, at this point. So Saturday, I'm trying to think. I mean, that gets us. Oh, actually, no. You know what? We're gonna pivot here slightly. So, one thing last night, so Saturday night at the ranch, it's funny because the theme of the event was the big thing, and leading up to it, I think we were all kind of curious of, what is the big thing? And, we all kind of thought that it had some sort of like Sasquatch theme to it, because the
logo was Sasquatch.
Yeah, the logo was Sasquatch. The mascot was Sasquatch. So like, the big thing. Or Bigfoot, Sasquatch. Yeah.
It depends on your
And
depends on your religion. Yeah. Depends on your religion.
So we were all kind of wondering, but like last night at like the final Campfire 2.5 hour raffle, leading up to that, they kind
Shout
of
out Forney Industries for giving me a welding helmet, a jacket, and gloves. Let's go.
but not the welder. But anyways, before the raffle, they, Clay and Rochelle and a couple other people had kind of shared what the meaning of the big thing was. And it had nothing to do with Sasquatch or Bigfoot. And so for them, it was Rochelle participating in the next Rebel Rally. And that was her big thing. That was her next big project, that was something that she was looking forward to. So my question to, all of us, but also to the four of you, is looking forward to whether it's this year, whether it's 2026, or even further down the road. What is your big thing? And so for this, we'll kind of work our way down. So we'll start with Brandon. Andre, if you want to pass the mic to Brandon. Oh. Brandon, what is your big thing going to be?
So my next big thing is at the end of this month, July. I'm going to take a 1-week trip down through states I've never been to.
Okay.
Going to Nevada, Arizona, Utah, California, going out to some pretty remote places.
Wait, you're cramming all those states into 1 week?
1 week.
Whew.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope I can do it.
1 UZ, let's go.
Yeah. 2 UZ.
Oh, 2 UZ.
2 UZ FE. Yeah. But I'm super thankful that I went to the big thing and I did the course, the tech course, and ran my Sequoia through there, so that I know what it's capable of, so that when I do go do this big trip, I know that I can make it through
what you can do.
a lot of these obstacles that'll come across.
Good deal. What okay, so you got your big thing. So okay, and so the tech course, was there anything else from this weekend, or honestly even this trip, the Great Northwest Expedition, was there anything else that stuck out to you this last week, that something that you took away, that you enjoyed, what was something, what stuck out to you?
I don't know, I just really enjoyed cruising with you guys, meeting some new people.
Okay,
we're all just hanging out. That's cool.
Yeah, sweet. I know.
It's my first time meeting
Oh,
Cody.
yeah.
I think you guys are all great.
Thanks.
It's awesome. I think we're starting good friendships.
Good deal. No, and that is something that was when I had this idea for this trip. That was what I wanted this trip to become. Three of us have camped together. Almost religiously since early last year. And like Brandon, you've joined us on a handful of trips. Cody, you and I, we've been friends almost half our lives at this point. But the friend circles kind of hadn't really intermingled or kind of bonded, and that was one of my goals for this trip. Was I wanted to build those relationships, and I wanted to solidify those. It's you and I, like I said, we've known each other 13 years. Jared, you and I, it's been a year, but we've camped, I think, 75% of the weekends since May of last year, if not more. Yep. Andre, same thing. June of last year. Yeah. Brandon, June of last year. And that is for me. That's what I love about doing all this. Is, I met, you in May of last year, June of last year, and now here we are, a year later. We're doing a week-long trip out into the the heart of Montana. We are we've had some great conversations this trip. We've had some great heart-to-hearts. We've had some great moments, some great memories. We've almost been ran off the road a couple times. It's that happened today, by the way, on the way here to camp. We're not going to talk about it because I'm not trying to throw a whole bunch of expletive beepers into this video, but we've all had those bonding experiences, and that's what I wanted to come from this trip. Was we're all we started this trip as, friends, strangers, however you want to classify it. But we're now leaving. We're now going home with a different bond. It's someone we know that. Hey, Brandon has got great mechanical skills. He's got a background in mechanics. He's fun. He's outgoing. He's all that. Andre has got. He's got the Land Cruiser. He's got fun personality. It's Jared's got the mechanical the chef. Yes, Jared the camp chef. The camp chef came through this trip. Shout out to Jared. Cody's got the EMT background. All that. So we all know what skills the 5 of us bring to the table.
Jared also has mechanical skills and laid on the ground to get Eric's park brake unstuck, and I'm thankful that I didn't have to lay on the ground and do that.
That is true, and and Jared has done that multiple times for Eric. So Toyota, get your manual e-brake under, get that figured out. But yes,
Maybe self-induced by Eric.
I mean it might be, but but all that to say. For me, this trip has accomplished what I wanted it to. And not from the business perspective, not from the brand perspective, from the personal perspective, is I have gained, I have gotten to know, the 3 of these guys, because I already know you pretty well. I have gotten to know the 3 of these guys on a totally different level, and it has been so rewarding to see honestly, to see all of you shine in your own way, and to see honestly, to see you guys, get out of your shell. And that's what all this is all about. And that is why I started First Due Overland. It was to share my love for the outdoors, to inspire others, and to inspire, I suckered all 4 of you into coming to Montana with me for a week. So, I must have done something right.
I suckered all 4 of you a mile up a hill to a non-existent fire lookout.
Yeah. We're not gonna look at that. Okay, yeah. So note to self: Jared ever sucks you? Oh, hey, let's do a hike to a fire lookout. Throw the drone up first to make sure the fire lookout still exists before you do the hike in 95-degree weather and a 500-foot elevation gain at least.
Yeah, starting out at 6,600 feet.
Yeah.
I am glad you came along to the navigation course.
I knew where we were going. Just didn't know where we were going to.
You just didn't know if it existed or not.
The Onyx didn't fail. It says the road was closed.
Yes, Onyx does say the road was closed.
Yeah, Onyx said it was ruined, and the road there
it.
was closed. And I still got these guys.
And we still let Jared suck us into a freaking hike in 1,000,000-degree weather. Anyways, Andre, moving on. So, what is your next big thing? And also, too, what is something that you took away from the trip as a whole?
Yeah. Well, for me at least, I think it's not about the next big thing. Yes, I think we all do have one. We all have that. Oh, we want to do this. I want to start this business. I want to start something. It's more like getting started, putting that first step in. We all have that one big thing, but the hardest part, I think, is just getting to put that first baby step on there. Yep. And for me, I have tons. I want to go back to, I was doing flying course or flight training.
Okay.
And then I stopped.
Does that mean you're going to buzz the X-Overland Ranch
next
year?
I was thinking about that. Probably next year, hopefully.
Okay. All right. So
when I get this started,
All right.
I might be the one flying down that airstrip. Yeah.
To our friend Clint Saunders, you're going to have you're going to have someone else buzzing the ranch on Saturday night.
But no, yeah. Getting there, it's just making that plan to get the first step in. Yep. So right now, I think what I want to do is, for my next big thing, is just start a little bit smaller. So, yeah, I was thinking of, I was postponing of selling the Ram. Well,
Yeah, if you want to buy
we're not
a
gonna
fully
go for
built-out
that,
Ram,
yeah.
shoot a Nimbus on Instagram a message
Yeah.
and buy a Ram.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be for me. It's gonna be one big step. Just getting rid of that, and then it's gonna help definitely. First, pay off the bills.
Yep.
Get some more stuff. Get some more cash for the cruiser.
Buy some exterior
Right,
print
get
or
that paid, get
molly
that,
panels.
Rack paid off. No, but yeah. So yeah, and then hopefully getting back into the flight training.
Nice, good deal.
Yeah, and then I think out of the biggest thing that I got out of this trip is just getting more personal and up close with everybody here. So yeah, I mean, I remember like us meeting, what, a year, 2 years ago.
A year ago.
Yeah.
It was last year. Believe it or not, last year.
We barely talk.
We met. So I met
Everybody's
Andre
just
in the
doing
middle of
their own
nowhere
thing,
of
you know?
LB on a trail run.
Yeah, but now it's like
Yep.
we're joking around,
Yep.
doing stuff, and yeah, I like that.
No, good deal.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Hey, happy to have met you. I'm glad you could join us.
Yep.
And you know what? Hey, the best is yet to come.
Yeah. Hopefully more trips come for sure.
Oh, 100%. All right, Jared.
Just to
So
clarify, did you have 2 hot dogs at the Love's Travel
Oh.
Center?
We're gonna go through that.
yes, we are going to go there. Yes. Andre is the Love's Travel Stop Glizzy
So did you have 2 Glizzies for lunch today?
When?
today.
Today, yeah. Did you have 2 today?
Wait, let's be more. No.
Okay,
At
yeah,
the Love's
so-
Travel Stop in Missoula, Montana, did you
Yeah. he's-
inhale 2 Glizzies today on
Yeah. So he
Sunday, July 13th?
He had 2 today, and the Glizzy count has been a running joke because I had 5 for lunch. When was that? Saturday? No, Friday. Yeah, Friday. I had 5 hot dogs for lunch, which unfortunately to this point.
Wait, was
because
Friday a travel day or was Friday at the ranch?
Friday was at the ranch. It was the first full day at the ranch.
We did.
So that still, due to Andre's solid head start on the way out here, puts Andre in the lead at 11 Glizzies consumed throughout the course of the trip. I am only at a mere 10 for the course of the trip.
Andre,
we do have
so-
a full day of travel tomorrow with another stop at the Loves in Moses Lake.
Oh, that's right. Ooh, all right. So
I
who's
didn't know
who's gonna
it was
win?
even a competition.
Wait. So okay. Wait. So
Well,
wait.
Andre made it a competition with the head start you got.
Oh shoot. All right. So
Yeah.
Jared. So 2 questions. What is your next big thing? And the second question is what was your favorite part of this trip, or what is something that you've taken away besides the Glizzies from this trip?
So my next big thing, I definitely interpreted the big thing different than a solid physical goal, not a at an overlanding event where you say what's your next big thing. A lot of people want to base and go to. I want to go to Prudhoe Bay in Alaska. I want to do the Pan American Highway. I want to travel and do another cross-continental trip. That was a lot of the air of the event there. For me, it was a mentality change that has to come along. So I have been hanging out with Shane for just over a year. Met Shane in May of last year. Facebook reminded me that today was actually the anniversary of the first Catchies trip, where I took my clamshell tent for the first time. That popped up in my memories was the post of us up in the tree line with my tent open for the first time for its inaugural night in the clamshell, which I've already replaced, but that's
what I call positive peer pressure, though, because in May of last year he was in a ground tent,
Yeah,
and within a month and a half later he was in a rooftop tent.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. It was raining.
Yeah.
We had a Phantom 4Runner with us.
Yep. Phantom Forerunner, Urban. Yep.
And
Yep.
so-
Oh yeah, that was the Greenwater. Yep, the Greenwater trip. Yep.
So yeah, since then I have dutifully recorded in 4K almost every minute of trail ride that we've been on. With the Osmo Action that we're recording on now, I have an Osmo One as well. which stems back to a greater problem from before. I had both of the Osmos before I met Shane from my mountain biking days. Right before I moved to Washington, my father-in-law and I competed in a Leadville 100 qualifier race. We did a 50K race through the northwest corner of Arkansas. I have full video recorded footage of chest cam for me and helmet camera for him, in addition to the 2 years of mountain bike training leading up to that, sitting on a hard drive.
Wait, 50 miles?
Uh,
On a bike? All right, so podcast intermission is now done. In 3, 2, what were we talking about?
So it's a long-standing problem that I've had long before I met Shane. I have both an Osmo Action 3 and an Osmo Action 1 that I have dutifully recorded almost every minute of trail run, camping time, multiple long exposure overnight views, hyperlapses and time lapses of camp as we go throughout. Never posted, just hanging out. Multiple terabytes of footage, and that goes back to what I originally got the cameras for, was mountain biking. Right before I moved to Washington at the very beginning of last year, 2024, my father-in-law and I did a Leadville 100 qualifier. So we went to Northwest Arkansas, did 50K. It ended up being about 34 miles through the hills and mountains of Northwest Arkansas on our mountain bikes. I have the entire footage of that. Just that event alone is just over 740 gigs of footage. Sitting, nothing ever done with it. I have a 4 terabyte hard drive in my computer at home, completely full of mountain bike footage from before that. Nothing ever done with it.
You could be a mountain bike influencer, sir.
So just broke my ribs, might as well.
Yeah.
The big thing for me was the mentality shift of I need to just do it. Yep. And that was one of the classes we went to, but unfortunately there was an instructor that fell ill, which is unfortunate. But the point, even without the class, still got across to me. I need to just do it. Mm-hmm. I've been taking all of this footage. I have a secondary Instagram account for the truck itself to post this kind of footage.
Slick Sylvie on Instagram, follow him.
Yeah, I've made some reels. Shane's taken the time out to show me how to use CapCut. We've gone through, I have the knowledge, I have the tools, I have a personal MacBook, I have multiple good action cameras that can record smooth 4K, which is kind of astounding for getting the shit shaken out of me in my truck and then watching the footage, and it just looks like a driving Miss Daisy on a Sunday afternoon. I have all of that, got the iPhone 16 Pro Max, got the newest iPhone. Like I've got the stuff, I've acquired the things, I've done the materialistic part of
taking the time to do
but it. I've never committed and never really sat down, made a calendar of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to make a post, or, even Sunday afternoon from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., I'm going to sit down with my laptop. I'm going to make reels, It might be 1 reel that I get done in that time at the beginning. It might be 10 reels that I get done in that time. But making sure that I have that consistency, that I make that mental switch and I put in the effort, that's my big thing. Yeah. That's what I took away from the weekend, was that I need to stop going through the motions without completing it. You get kind of stuck in paralysis. Is this going to be perfect? Is this just right? And it's not. It never is. Mm-hmm. And that's particularly listening to Miss Patty talk through going through the Darien Gap in the 70s.
Yep.
Hills so steep that they had to hand winch
yep.
the Jeep up.
Yep.
the second year when she goes back out to join, covering 18 miles in the first 14 days that they traveled after the village that they left the Jeep in at the time. Like, that's wild. That is an entirely different world than we were in.
Yeah.
But they took the action. They made it. They got it done. And that's something that I need to do.
Personally, I can't imagine going through that. Like, I mean, I heard, so she shared last year at the Overland Rally, the Northwest Overland Rally last year, she shared that story. And I remember hearing that last year and just sitting there going, I can't imagine covering that little amount of miles in that many days. That's mind blowing. But that's the terrain that they were in. And, kind of circling back to, the what your big thing was and all that is, you know what? There's a lot of people that don't realize. I mean, I get comments all the time about, those reels, that's awesome, the content. But people don't realize the amount of work that goes into that. And, the amount of, it's time out of your, and this is it's not a dig, it's not, but there's a lot of dedication that goes into providing the content that we do to you guys. It's there's a lot of personal sacrifice, and I appreciate you coming on this trip. Shout out to Allie if you're watching this. Thanks for lending Jared to me for a week. This is, I truly appreciate it. I'm glad that you were able to make it. You have been a great addition to this, and not only to the trip but also to the FDO team. I'm glad that when I approached you earlier this year that you were like all in and heck yeah, let's do this. You've been a great addition. You brought a lot of knowledge. You brought a lot of skill, and I'm happy to have you on the team. And it's people don't. I mean, you can attest to this too. The training that we've done, the social media, all that side of things it's a lot of work. It's these influencers that you guys follow on Instagram or YouTube or whatnot. Yes, it's really easy to double tap that video and go, oh yeah, that's awesome. But what you guys don't see is the behind the scenes of editing that, whether it's a template or whether it's they're doing it from scratch. It's a lot of freaking work. And for you to be sitting here now going, yeah, you know what? Hey, I am, I'm going to step up and I'm going to do this. I appreciate that. And I'm excited to see how you grow, how the brand grows, and how, and what, because that's the best part of this is, kind of being the leader of FDO. It's seeing not only, my FDO ambassadors grow, but it's also the people that come with us. It's Andre, it's Brandon, it's Cody, and all the other people, that have camped with us, across, from many events, doing an event and then seeing the reels and the posts that come out of that and seeing how people grow over the weeks and months and years, since those events. That's the super cool thing is seeing that growth. And so I appreciate you. I'm glad that you were able to make it. And no, I'm excited to see your next big thing come to fruition, because I think that growth that's good growth.
Thank you.
So, Cody, huh?
I was about to say, you did ask me 2 questions that I forgot what to say.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh, sorry. Yep. All right. So,
was it what the favorite thing of the week it was?
Yes, favorite thing of the weekend. I'm pretty sure I already know what it is.
I mean, dragging all of these suckers up to the top of a mountain in Montana.
Call it.
That was delightful. Yes.
So dragging all of us up the hike, yes. The non-existent fire lookout hike, yes. Okay.
I will say,
Thank you for throwing the drone up.
You're welcome.
Rubbing the magnetic strip off of Eric's debit card was pretty solid as well. I really think taking Micah's intro to welding class.
Yeah.
Was probably my my favorite part of the event.
So what you're saying
itself.
is we're about to build a whittle wadder for the Forerunner.
I mean, yeah, we could slap together a whittle ladder. That wouldn't be too bad.
Bet.
That wouldn't be
Bet.
too bad.
Let's-
I mean,
let's do it.
you'll need a lift though, because it's already so low to the ground. You can climb to the top anyway.
We're not talking about that. I want a whittle wadder for aesthetics.
Yeah, that was probably the favorite. You know, I had some welding experience going into it, and I think a big part for me, like digesting in the hundreds of miles we drove to get here from the ranch today, digesting it with my wife on the phone. That was a cool thing to be able to see, like inclusion of people other than just your standard overlanders into the various niches outside of overlanding.
Yeah.
Was pretty cool. Like seeing the variety of individuals that we had in the welding class, getting to weld. I mean, I've done some stick welding. I mean, aluminum's one of the more difficult things to weld on, but that was like the majority of my experience going into it. Was I have hand reel welded MIG aluminum before, but I hadn't done much steel work. So getting to go in there and lay down some rows of still MIG welding, even filling in a gap. That was pretty awesome. But I think waiting and watching the entire rest of the class of people who had not welded go first, getting to see that, like people who realistically probably never would have gone out of their way, they never would have had the access to it. Thanks to my day job, I have access to that. You know, I can walk out of my office, sit down at a welding table, bust open a fully set up Miller welding machine, have all of the equipment right there. I can throw down a bead if I want to. That's not part of my day-to-day job, but I have the access to that stuff, and I have for years. And I've definitely taken that for granted as part of my life. And being able to see people who never would have had that experience be able to step up, throw on a welding jacket, gloves, helmet, grab the torch in hand, and have Micah guide them through, dropping dimes. Like that's that was very awesome to see. That was a great experience to have. And I mean, shit, you usually don't have 240 volt electric on a on an overlanding experience. So the ranch having that off into the shop onto the side, that was my favorite part.
It's and it's a testament to their mission of educating and equipping the next generation of explorers, because that skill is a primary skill to have for, you know, someone that wants to get out there and explore the world, you know. And so and the brief kind of tidbit that I caught of that class, because, you know, I was popping around getting B-roll and, you know, videos and photos of the classes, to see that and to see his knowledge and hear, you know, kind of soak up his knowledge that he was sharing with you and the other students. No, he was definitely, they picked a good one with that class. So, no. All right. So you had dragging us on a hike and welding. Okay. All right. So Cody, what is your next big thing, and what is your, even though the weekend's not over, what was your favorite part of the weekend so far, or of this trip so far?
So for my next big thing, it's more of a personal goal. So many years ago, way before I got into overlanding, way before I had a truck, I went on a family kind of reunion in Wyoming, and for fun, I decided I'm going to take a Greyhound bus out there. Never do that. It's awful. Just take your personal vehicle. But I got off the bus in Billings and rented a Ram, which might be part of the reason why I have a Ram Rebel now for my overland rig. But after the family reunion, I had a lot of extra time, so I took that truck, I pointed it in a random direction, and I just drove. I had nowhere to be, all the time in the world, and that sense of freedom was almost intoxicating. just being able to go wherever I want. But wherever that is, I had no idea. So a personal statement to myself is always no destination, nothing but time. And it's been so long since I've really strived or set aside the time to do that, and that's something I really want to do again. Because you find so many amazing small towns, trails, and really just that freedom of, that feeling of freedom. And for this trip in particular, it's meeting the three of you, seeing the different backgrounds, the different builds, where you came from, and taking the time out of my life, out of the go to work, then go home, back to work, back home. But finally going out to Montana. I've been to Montana many times now, and each time I come out here, I just want to stay. And for some of you, it's your first time out here and being able to share that experience, because now you know why the few of us that have been out here before want to stay.
It's a beautiful state. Yes. And I like the people.
Yeah. No, it's that. I mean, I'll piggyback off that. I mean, even though I've been chiming in the whole time now, but no, I have. So last year I went to the grand opening event for the ranch, and well, I should say Abby and I went to the grand opening of the ranch last year, and that was special in its own way. It was this very super small, intimate group. I mean, shoot, it was maybe a couple hundred people. It was very, very small. I mean, it was new. It was not many people had heard about it, and that event last year, what I thought was fantastic. You know, it was educational. It was same thing. You know, driving course, back 400 classes, all of that. And then going back out. Well, actually, not even. So, I had the grand opening event in early July, and then I went back out twice, late July, and then again in mid-August with our fishing guide to go when we went and we fished the Clark Fork in St. Regis. And so being to Montana 3 times in 2-3 months, I mean, just like you fell in love with Montana. And it's funny because growing up, my parents, before I was born, my dad was stationed out in Great Falls, Montana. And growing up, I heard the horror stories of, you know, the winters of Montana. Oh, it's negative 40. The snow blows sideways. You got to plug your car in. Oh, it's miserable. Yeah. And yes, I mean, I am sure that is true to an extent, because I've heard. I mean, talking with Rochelle and Clay, yes, it got down to the negatives at the ranch, and even our first night at camp in St. Regis, we had a local. God bless her. She was super friendly, but I had a great conversation with her because she was originally from Oregon, and her husband moved out to Montana. And, you know, I told her, oh, yeah, you know, my mom said it gets down to negative 4. She's like, oh, yeah, the worst it gets down to is, you know, negative 20, maybe for like 1 or 2 days, you know. But she's like, but Montana has a banana belt, and, you know, it's super nice. And my next, I mean, personally, my next big thing is I would love, I mean, not love, but I would like to come out here to Montana in the winter just to see what the winters in Montana are like. Definitely not camping in the winter, but just to see what the winters are like. Because my big thing, I guess for lack of better terms, is as someone who's been in the first responder realm, or, you know, law enforcement first responder realm for the last almost 10 years, who's been through some first responder trauma, you know, the last 5 years, being able to, being out here in the wilderness, for lack of a better term, of the Northwest, of the mountains, this type of environment has done wonders for me. Sitting here, we're sitting here in the middle of nowhere, Idaho. The rivers, in the river. The river's babbling. I'm surrounded by people who I value, who I have shared my story with, and you and I talked the other night, and I'm not going to get into the terms. And I'm not going to get into nitty gritty because Jared,
Sweet nothings.
yeah, Jared was talking crap the next morning, but you and I, and Abby started this 3 years ago, and here we are. I am leading, for lack of better terms, an expedition. Well, yes, it's a 3-state expedition, but I am leading a trip with 5 people I value, with 5 people who really didn't know each other a lot before this, and now we're leaving this with a whole new appreciation for the region, for each other, for our vehicles, and with a whole bunch of knowledge.
Yeah, no, I appreciate all the work you put into it. It's like down to the every detail, fuel stops, and
down to the seconds.
Yeah, no.
If you look at if you follow the timeline well, which
right?
we were an hour ahead of our timeline today,
Mm-hmm.
thanks to all of you. So props to that, because you made my life easier today.
Yeah,
You
I saw
said-
that there's a whole lot of planning for this trip.
Yep.
So it was great.
You said Montana, and I said yes. I'm pretty sure in less than a minute.
Yeah. Well, and that is something that I will. We want to talk about learning experiences. Planning a 3-state trip was a lot of work. I can't imagine what Clay and Rochelle go through, or Clay, the XO team, whoever all goes into planning the XO team trips. I cannot imagine the hours and resources that go into that, because it was a lot of work planning a 3-day trip. Planning right now they're on the their 25,000 mile, the milestone expedition. I can't even begin to imagine what goes into that. But anyway, so circle back. The next big thing for First Due Overland, and for myself, I would love to, within the next year, be fully remote, doing something within the outdoor industry where I can do this lifestyle either full-time or semi-full-time, but have something where it's remote and where I can get true fulfillment sharing my love for the outdoors, the healing powers of the outdoors with others, like I have shared with you guys. And favorite part of this trip, I would say, is probably, to circle back, kind of to beat a dead horse here, is spending time with all of you. Yes, I have known all of you for different, amounts of time, periods of time and amounts of time, but I feel like I am leaving this trip building on old friendships, building on new friendships, and it's all built on the common denominator of our love for the outdoors, our love for exploring, our love for Toyotas or exploring, because Toyota is the superior Overland brand.
Oh, Jared, I think you're getting.
Toyota for the win.
I'll bring that back up next time I'm laying underneath Eric's truck.
I'm somehow avoiding all of this.
Yeah. That's what.
We're gonna bring you guys to the
That's
dark
what.
side.
That's what 10 years of friendship buys you. Is you don't get. Yeah. But no, it's.
Maybe if like a right-hand drive diesel 80 series fell into my lap, I would.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So if anyone has a right-hand drive 80 series, shoot Jared a DM and let's convert him real quick. But to wrap this long podcast episode up, I just want to say thank you to all of you. One, for trusting me to lead you to the depths of nowhere, Montana. As well as Jared, because Jared led us to the depths of nowhere on a fire lookout that didn't exist. But thank you for coming on this trip.
The sandwiches we ate up there were divine.
Those were the best sandwiches I've ever had because I was hungry and it was hot and I wanted to eat. Yes, so they were very, very good. But yes, thank you for coming on this trip. Thank you for trusting myself and Jared and First Due to bring you on an adventure. You know, this was the first trip that we put on, and so thank you for coming along with it. And yeah, there is no other group that looking back now, there's no other group that I would want to share this with because there was a lot of laughs, there was a lot of glizzies, Andre, and
a 21 just between the two of us.
Whew. All right, hey,
We're trying to break the record.
hey, Johnsonville, if you want to sponsor us, we will happily.
Nathan's.
Nathan's. All right, Nathan's.
Yeah.
If you want to sponsor us, we will happily host a. No.
Yeah.
We'll host.
That'll be mine. That'll be mine and Andre's next small thing. Is the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
No, not it. No, heck, no. Let's get it sponsored. Nathan's. Hook us up with we will do a backcountry hot dog eating contest.
We'll do it.
Yep.
I'm up for it.
But also too, Harbor Freight. We need a new toilet seat, 5-gallon bucket seat, because the Montana winds. The Montana winds a lot between Helena and Missoula may have kidnapped one of our toilet seats. Yeah. So yes, but yes. So 2020's a FDO hot dog eating contest 2026.
Yeah, we should come back here. We should set up a table in the river.
In the river? Oh, bet. All right, let's do it. All right, you heard it here first. The 2026 Coeur d'Alene FDO hot dog eating contest in the river.
Yep.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
It's
in the
all-
river.
yeah.
In the river. In the river. Yes. Yep. In the river.
Yeah. Yeah, you won't think about how many hot dogs you ate when you can't feel your toes.
When you can't feel your toes. So with that, we're gonna wrap up this second episode of the First Due Overland Podcast, recapping our time at the X Overland Ranch and the Great Northwest Expedition. So thanks for joining us. If you're new here to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. For the algorithm's sake, smash that like button. And for my coworkers watching, hit that like button and subscribe. With that, we will catch you in the next episode. And enjoy the series that comes after this from our Great Northwest Expedition. And we will see you in the next one. All right. Bye, guys.
B-roll footage.
The other head is
Check
stopping.
this out. This is up the creek. This is up the creek from where we're at. This is down the creek from where we're at. Look at that. Absolutely sick. Beautiful time to sit out here. We did, right before start filming, watch a whitetail. Straight across. It was pretty awesome.
Hey,
See you guys.
And no snakes.
Yeah, no snakes.
Crossing
No
the
snakes.
lake.
Yeah. Shane did not run this time.
I did not run this time. But shout out to the X Overland security for killing the rattlesnake at the X Overland Ranch.
Thanks for saving Shane. He appreciates it.
Yes.
We'll be back next year.
Those kids.
Okay.
Be careful.
I swear to God, if that fucking bottle floats on their goddamn river.
It's gonna be right here and then slowly float.
No, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go. It's sealed, right?
Yeah, I tightened it down pretty well.
Let me see this big ass rock right here. So put this. Whoa, God! Put the big ass rock on top of it. I'm gonna lay it down. Put the rock on top of it.
I think we're gonna need another rock.
And let's not forget it in the river.
We're not gonna forget that. We'll forget other things. We're not gonna forget that.